So, if I talk from the perspective of my country, this is kind of a non-mainstream mouse. Like I don't get to see many Corsair mice users around. So what made me buy this? Especially coming from a Logitech fan. Is it the RGB? Nah, it's 2019. Everything is RGB now. Even my chair. It's actually because of the width of the mouse. Not the overall size, but the width. There are many mice out there with this length and height, but I hardly found any decent mice with this width. For a fingertip grip user, this feels so good. So I'm actually going to make this short by pointing out the pros and cons and then give an overall comparison with the Logitech G403, which I consider as the best mouse I've ever used. First of all, I've already talked about this. I like the shape of this mouse, specifically saying the width of the mouse. I still find G403 extremely comfortable to hold, but recently it began to hurt my wrists after long gaming sessions. The reason is, I'm neither a palm grip or a claw grip user, but rather a fingertip user. So a wide mouse is much more comfortable to hold, as fingertip grip is the most straining one. Secondly, I like these extra side grips that comes with it, especially the one with thumb rest. At first it did feel kinda uncomfortable, but now it feels good as it lessens the pressure when I'm doing casual work. These are magnetic based and really easy to use. They are solid and won't come off accidentally, but at the same time easy to swap. There's also a pouch included if you want to carry these around. Next comes the most important thing, the sensor. Well, I'll be honest, the only reason I could not switch from my G403 for 2 years was due to the sensor. It rocks the PMW3366 sensor, which is considered to be the most accurate one in the world. Now the Corsair Glaive has a custom Pixar 3367 optical sensor. I do not have any technical data to consider how good it is, but from personal experience, this does feel quite similar to the G403. It's really accurate and I haven't faced any tracking issue till now. I like the RGB effects on it, especially how the front of it looks like a car, even though I can't see it while gaming. And the mouse wheel actually feels and looks like a tire. The best thing is the lighting indicators on the DPI settings. Even if you accidentally click the DPI button, you will know the difference. Well, of course, all the lighting effects can be controlled from the Corsair software called iCUE. I won't go into any details about because everyone knows about these stuffs by now. Just one thing, the surface calibration is actually a handy feature. Now to talk about cons. First up, the weight of the mouse. It's a staggering 122 grams for the black version and 127 grams for the aluminium version. I know there are people out there who likes mice with over 120 grams of weight, but it's a first time for me. Especially coming from the extremely light 87 grams Logitech G403. It did take me a while to get used to it, but I'm still not sure how good I will cope with it when it comes to competitive gaming. Next up is the side buttons. Well, this is both good and bad actually. For people who don't use the side buttons much or wants to avoid any accidental clicks, it's good news. But for people who does use the side buttons frequently, they'll have to go through a bit of trouble for this. There is one problem with the shape of this mouse I faced. The top of the mouse kind of slopes down to the right, so this part here is a bit bumpy, which may feel a bit odd at first. The last one is a bit weird, and this can also be a good feature for some people. The Corsair logo on the bottom kind of gets warm. Maybe it's because of the RGB effect or something. People living in the cold areas may find this handy, but for people living in this region, and especially with those with sweaty hands, this is kinda uncomfortable. So to sum it up, after a week of gaming with it, I gotta say I'm quite satisfied. At first I kept the G403 plugged in also because the Glaive was feeling uncomfortable. I kind of regretted spending the bucks on it, but now I'm getting very comfortable with it, and the performance is top notch. It feels like my aiming has gotten somewhat better, maybe because of the extra weight. So if you ask me, I would say this is as good as the G403, but for people with 20cm or larger hands. So if you like this video or it helped you out, don't forget to subscribe because I'll be doing more of these simplistic reviews. Stay connected.